Ritorniamo alla distribuzione con l'ultimo intervento, Roberto Selva, Chief Marketing.
I'd like to call on stage
un video.
the Chief Marketing Officer of Esselunga, Roberto Selva. We have a video? No, we don't. Okay, sorry, I thought we had a video. No, we don't have a video.
Un contatto col mercato, a parte che credo che una gran parte di questi signori qui siano vostri fornitori. Quindi
I think many of the people here in the audience are your supplier, so I'm curious to see what you'll tell us. What you serve everyday million of customers.
il polso, l'inflazione, le elezioni.
What are your thoughts on, inflations, elections? What's the impact of this? Well, we're going through a very challenging period. We have the pre-pandemic, pandemic, post-pandemic, high interest rates, the inflation data on American inflation created quite a negative sentiment and sell-off. And there is a significant increase in raw materials. We use energy, for example, a lot. We are not retailers. We have a production center for our bakery in Parma. We handle fish and meat at 4 degrees, and then we have the whole logistics, the whole cold chain inside of stores. So this increase in the cost of energy is quite concerning. I would also like to flag the social impact. I think our colleague from Chef Express, Christian, said there is a problem with the staff, and there is this new culture, the YOLO culture, you live only once. The pandemic changed values and priorities. When I was born in the 60s, I started working in the 80s, and for me, the goal, was the Reagan-Edenism. So we have this social impact, especially for labor-intensive, high labor-intensive cost. So this is something we have to face. So we'll have lower margins. The growth in our sector is partly due to the inflation. We try to create a strong campaign on prices beginning in 2021. We cannot do this anymore, and we will have lower margins. We are not listed on the stock exchange. We are family-run business. So this year is going to be tougher in terms of margin, but I think we've done a good job. Do you think customers are buying less? Are they opting for products with lower prices? We see an inflation of 10% on products with a low value. So there are different techniques for customers. So, for example, they don't buy filet, they buy white meat or poultry. Our issue is going to be in a few months, because the energy will have taken its toll on the purchase power of many families. So some families will decide not to buy, not to consume, and maybe enter recession. Well, that's not a given. Well, the scenarios and the rates that are going to increase, public debts, companies will have lower margins, so this is going to be concerning. We have 5.5 million customers, and we are concerned with the lower range of customers that is going to suffer stronger impact, and so they have to sacrifice. Your turnover is around 8 billion, almost 9 billion. Is it, I think, one of the biggest player in the world of supermarkets? As a customer, I've noticed an increase in the number of services you offer.
Cosa c'è alla base di questa scelta? Quali sono
What's the reason behind this choice? What are the choices you had to make? What are the goals you want to reach? We are customer-centric, so we want to understand the new trends and the new needs of the customer. So we want to see what the customer wants and how they want to purchase. The first thought was on the format. So we are a real estate company as well. So what's the format of the shop? We're very strong in terms of superstore. We reviewed our format. We have different formats, smaller or bigger supermarkets, but even in our biggest stores, we created more occasion for purchase. So we focus on the experience. So fresh products, because we sell mainly fresh products, but we want to help the customers to be quick in purchasing. So
oppure faccio il grab and go, un percorso
grab and go,
qualche bevere, oppure la mia spesa convenzionale.
Or conventional grocery shopping. Then we added services
E-commerce, il prenota e ritira.
online, so click and collect, e-commerce. So we've become omni-channel. I hear about, e-commerce is a trend. Each customer has a different type of using the store or the channels. So we need to help them. We also developed smaller stores. We were focused on, an 80s concept, but buying from the corner shop is also very important. But we used our models, fresh products, quality products, and being very convenient with the S label. We started doing this in Milan and Rome. How many stores do you have? S. We will open one in Rome, in Via Condotti, with a very important part dedicated to wine. Talking about wines again, do you have specific projects for the wine compartment? Going back to the 90s, when Mr. Caprotti, looking at the future, saw that the range we had was very limited and the perception of the supermarket was not great. So what did they do? He called Luigi Veronelli, who was, a guru of wine, and we went through modernization process in terms of the wine compartment. We created our wine stores with sommeliers, etc. We still have 80 sommeliers with 80 wine shops. Currently, the wine aisle in our store is a pillar. So we range from very cheap to very expensive wines, because wine is something that everyone purchases. We look at the assortment. We don't want to sell wine only. We are inspired by art de vivre. So I buy wine. We are very strong with gastronomy. We have an agreement with the brother Terea, with the Terea brothers in the world of pastry. So we focus on cross-selling. You buy an item and then another. So, for example, sweets or gastronomy. Deli, pardon. Do you want to go more in depth, or we do what the market asks for? So in some areas, there is a focus on extending our references. We are not, based in one area only. We have many data, and we look at the area through geomarketing. And then based on the data, we create our assortment. Of course, Milan is different from Pistoia, so we do one selection per one shop.
Parlavi prima della deflazione.
You mentioned deflation and the issues with grocery shoppings. Who are the most aggressive competitors for Esselunga in Italy? You are the main Italian player. Well, the world of food is very local. Even at international level, we don't have a company that covers from Vladivostok to Santiago del Chile, because it's very different. You know, every place is different. Walmart tried but failed. So we have local competitors, you know. If you go to Varese, you have a different competitor. If you go to Tuscany, you have another competitor. The same goes for Veneto. So there is no single main player. So today, being local and understanding local rationales is an added value. So being able to sell local products is great, because when we arrived in Rome, we had an idea of assortment. After 2 years, we had to extend our assortment with 670 new local suppliers. So we have many different competitors. You mentioned cross-selling.
La non vendita.
We focus on non-food, non-sale. I hear in some places you can get blood tests done in Esselunga. Do you have any new products? We have 5.7 million customers, so we could sell anything, but we have a clear logic. We thinking about the art de vivre. What's behind, you know, food? You can have dermocosmetics, nutraceutic. You can have tableware, etc. We have 4.3 million customers that give us the data. I think food and beverage will still be our core offer. Excellent. What's the evolution of food and wine? The whole industry, the whole supply chain. Where are the shortcomings? What can be improved? You know, as a distributor, I see a huge opportunity for food. So if I was born in the 80s, 90s, I will work in the food chain because Italy has a strong legacy. We have quality, heritage, talents. We have this very strong points. The sector is still small. We are more focusing on the products rather than the organization. We are less marketing, communication, data oriented. So I think there is still a lot to do, but I think the opportunity is there to be seized. So quality and values will still be very important. I hope that 20 years from now, when we'll be here talking at another summit, we will beat our French friends. I mean, we don't want to, be in competition with them, but I think we have the chance to do that. Talking again about e-commerce. What were the results for 2022? Do you think there will be room for growth? In my future vision, I see two words, the emotional words. So I want to see, for example, fruit and vegetables. And then we have functional products. So I see a great opportunities in terms of functional products. So, cleaning products. Talking about fresh products, I don't think e-commerce will be as prevalent, but I also see a new vision of e-commerce. We have click and collect, we have lockers, so several ways to use e-commerce. And we also need to look at, for example, social commerce, TikTok phenomenon. I don't think about metaverse though. I think metaverse works on Roblox, which accounts for 50 million people. I think the future of e-commerce can be discussed, because I think people want to go to the market and buy a tomato or go to the wine shop and have a glass of wine. But I think the right person at the right time can have a different way of consuming and experiencing the purchase and the products. Thank you, Alberto. So we are finishing our proceedings. I would like to thank our sponsors, Electrolux, Made in Italy Fund, Stellantis, and Temera. Thank you once again, and see you next year. Thank you.